What is going on, everybody? Welcome to a very special show. It's kind of like, I think we're going to call it maybe the Power Hour. Gary, you remember the Power Hour?
Ooh, the Power Hour, 6:05 Eastern Time, TBS, the Power Hour.
We are talking screen used movie props, not necessarily straight horror. Most of it will be horror, I'm sure, but there's going to be some other stuff on here too, because we have got our prop guy waiting in the wings.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good show. Jason, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
Jason the guy.
Yeah, see, I was like, that's kind of bondish, like that guy, Jason guy. I like to fuck my kids up, like, with different names. So,
what's up, guy?
Oh, nothing, man. Just winding down for the day, I guess.
Yeah, man. Welcome, dude. The last time we actually talked about you, you gave us some gift baskets, which was super cool. Thank you.
Yeah, just a bunch of randomness.
And the last time we saw you, you were selling your nubbins, man.
Yeah. Had to send them back home to Texas, but yeah, actually, Bill got it right when y'all were talking about it, trying to go. When I didn't make what I needed to make back on them, which was kind of weird. But the same auction, you had a Dream Warriors glove, part 7 mask or part 6 or something, and there was another auction with a shit ton of horror stuff overseas in the UK like a couple months before. So it was just roll the dice and bad timing, I guess, but
we're getting a little bit of feedback there. Have you got earbuds in or anything or no?
Oh no, it might be my TV here.
Oh, okay. I thought that was echoes of what we were saying.
No, yeah, that's what it was.
What are you watching on TV, man? Are you a multitasker?
Well, I didn't have time to screen mirror it, so I just had it on from watching YouTube earlier, just going on, rabbit holes.
No, it's so good. It's actually I don't hear it anymore. So
yeah, you're good. It sounds fine now. Okay. So we've got a bunch of people in the chat. I guess we should go through and do a little bit of a roll call. I'm seeing Indy Phantom was in here a little bit earlier. Adrian James, Artificial Flava, Matt, Cole Warner's Movie and Game Chamber, Sam Thomason, My Killer Podcast, buddy from the Rad Pack. Okay.
Oh,
the Metal Maniac, brother. The Mayor, Bronson Wright Wolf, Cornelius Young. We got Peter North in here, man. That's
shit.
Name.
We're just talking about something.
Yeah. Did he do any movies with any scream queens from the 80s? I'm just not naming names. Movie Junkie John, what is going on? Mizzy E, what is up? Slasher Fred.
Woo.
That's an interesting question there. Do you have a replica of the Rosebud sled from the classic film Citizen Kane?
No, nothing like that. No.
I would imagine if somebody had a prop from Citizen Kane.
That's like buku money there. I think they auctioned off a crate or something that was had something stenciled on the side. Like I don't know what scene in the movie, but it went for probably a couple $100,000. So
that's wild.
But it's just a pain, so.
That's what's crazy about this game that you're in, man. It's like all this stuff is so fascinating to me, and it's always stuff I've kind of wanted, but like I don't think I have any big screen used items in my collection, just because again, all of a sudden now you're playing a game of like big money.
It's a different level.
It's a different level. So
back when I started, it was just starting to get, up there, because like I'd go back and see, older posts online of different auctions, and like seriously, something that just went for say 50,000 went for 2,000 just a couple years before. It's weird.
It's crazy. Yeah, I think when we had you on before, you and Sean Clark were on together, and like when I'm bored at work, which is quite often, I'll go on like heritage auctions and just look at past auctions and everything. And this was probably 2006, 2007. One of the Leatherface masks, the Bob Burns masks.
Yeah.
$5,000. And what would that go for now?
And my friend actually just got it, I think last year, and it looks like beef jerky, but it is what it is, you know, because Bob put some lacquer on it and didn't know what it would do down the road, and he, I guess, found the guy that had it before, and I don't know what he paid for it, but it had to be probably triple, because like the chainsaw here, that was like after I went through my V phase, which I'm kind of getting back into that, wanting to get like a rifle or a shuttle miniature or something, you know. But and Robert England's outfit that I sold back to him, it's like, I mean, that was cool as shit, but wish I still had it. I got the chainsaw, and like it felt like over the top, man. I was on the phone and like, okay, it's 2000. Are you going 3? Yeah. All right, 4. Yeah, and hat backwards, you know. And
Flip the switch.
yeah, man. And it ended up being with their premium they add to it, which is usually like 20%, and then you got sales tax on top of it. And it's like you got to keep that in mind. And I think I totally paid 14,000, I think, and then. When I met Sean, he's like, man, I was actually bidding on that, you know, and he's like, if I would have had the job I have now, then I would have won it. And I'm like, yeah, you would have, Norman Reedus, baby. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Sean, man, I remember.
and the other one came up now I think it's about 2 years now, and the difference is his has teeth on the chain and mine are filed off.
Well, how about this? Can that be the first thing we showcase right now?
Yeah, and he ended up, I think it was like 3 times as much, because you know the whole social media kind of blew it way up.
Right. And this chainsaw is from which movie?
Part 3, right?
Leatherface 3, yes.
Woo! Look at the size of that thing.
Damn. How much does that thing weigh?
It's all the bar right here is the heaviest part. The handle with the, you know, with the gas and everything, the chassis, like that's pretty light. But
so was this used in the movie, or was this the one that
Williams
used
had
in
it
the
held it over her head?
like...
So yeah, this what R.A. Mihailoff said, and Jeff Burr was like, this is the workhorse where, you know, if he's chasing somebody or, you know, attacking them or whatever, then like I think the one Sean got, and there was one other one, and those two were like the promotional or like the close up, shiny, you know, pretty, you know, looking saw.
Kate G said, "Oh boy, that thing's long."
It is. I had to take a picture like this naked one time when I first got it and cover up, you know, kind of. It's a pretty cool photo shoot.
That is sick, dude. I mean, just look at the size of it, like how that thing must have to be displayed. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah. And having to come up with cases like for this, and especially this other piece that we'll see in a
now,
little bit.
Is that thing usually cased in somewhere, like displayed, or
usually on a shelf or on top of a table or something, you know? But I want to get like an acrylic case with, you know, light and everything. But yes.
And how long have you had that one?
That's the one that'll never leave me, I guess, or the last piece to ever leave. So.
How long have you had that one?
I want to say 08, maybe.
So you've had it a while.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Is that one and the one Sean has the only two?
Yeah, because we don't know what happened to the third one. So, and I was just like, that's fucking funny. It came up, and like I was like looking through the catalog, because once you buy something from them, they'll, you know, you get catalogs every year. Which actually, I just got one fucking today, and there's some V shit in it and some old, you know, you can buy the whole set of All in the Family, the living room with the chairs and, you know, couch, everything, the kitchen, all the stuff in that.
Wow, what's the name of that magazine, man? That's wild.
It's the Heritage Auction catalog.
You probably have one every year that comes out or something, right?
Wow.
Heritage Auction is like, you can find like anything on there, really. I mean, it's kind of like a overpriced eBay. But there are a lot of props. I've gotten a lot of movie posters. Back in the day, you could actually get pretty good deals on movie posters on there. I don't know
like
about
they'll do lots of them or whatever. So I think I got one lot one time and had like at least 6 to 8 Captain America posters, but they all like kind of like a cassette or something with a hole punch in it, like the discount bin, something. It had that in the corner of each poster, and I was like, shit, but it was like a whole bunch of them for like $10 or something,
So Jason, like, what was the first item though that started this? Because evidently it's like it's like anything else. First you get one thing, you're like, oh, I got to get something else,
Yeah. I want to say it was either a V rifle, which you could it was some molded plastic and metal, so you could take the butt off, the scope off, the nozzle off, and have the little laser pistol, kind of 2-in-1 that I got from Heritage. And then it was one of the security guard visitor uniforms that had like the gold helmets and the gold, little stripes on the side. And then I started my whole V collection and got like an outfit that Mark Singer wore, then the Robert England one. And I mean, I think at least one of every outfit. Then the front half of a shuttle miniature transport. So it was like the cockpit and then one like block section where the troops would be in. And you could see where they would have had something hollowed out to attach however long they wanted to make the shuttle and stuff, and kind of have one of the long shuttles or small ones, but I got the front end of that. And then my first horror piece was the Dracula cape from Monster Squad.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You still have that?
No, the guy actually asked me if I wanted to buy it back like a year or two ago, and it's like, as much as I want to, that one.
That would be a hard thing to display too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah. I mean, you could have it hanging, draping down, but you'd want it kind of, spread out too. So
I would like, if I could get anything from the Monster Squad, it would probably be like the amulet.
That like somebody does have that. I think it's yourprops.com. You can go and see what people put on there, and they also have replicas and stuff. But I think somebody did have that, and maybe the ring. I think the Dracula ring.
Sweet.
Now, doing all this, do you what's the time frame? Like, do you usually like try to get something like every year? Does it all depend, like how you kind of
it depends. Stuff? It depends, and especially how it I guess the nostalgia hits you, like oh my god, it's the cosmic key from Masters of the Universe, like
right.
That'd be fucking cool to have, and then I mean, just you. And it's usually weird. Either I'm talking to somebody about something, like my best friend that passed away not too long ago. We were talking. He was like, "What's one thing Chainsaw's your favorite? What would you want?" And we both kind of at the same time, like, he was like, "You're gonna get Chainsaw from 3," and I said Chainsaw from 3. And then 2 weeks later, I'm flipping through a catalog of Jurassic Park shit stuff, and then motherfucker, I got to sell some shit now. Like.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that what you find yourself doing? Is getting rid of stuff to acquire new stuff? Like, is that kind of the game that you're?
Yes, that's the way it's been. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could keep it all, but it's, I've had my time with a piece, and it's like, all right, can I live without it? Yeah, because I like obscure shit, and usually I could get movies with obscure pieces, at a decent price. But now everything's just. You got all the cult followers that end up going after that stuff. Because I had like 4 slugs from Night of the Creeps, and it was just not one that they would pull across the yard or something, or right. Remote control or whatever. But and I sold 3 of them for like I think $200 to $500 each. And now you could probably get $5,000 to $1,000 for it or something, but. And
right.
Over the years, though, has there been like a particular grail item that you've been on the hunt for that you just don't know who's got it, or one that's kind of maybe a little bit out of your price range that you would love to get?
Some to have is the Kali Ma heart from Temple of Doom. I mean, it seemed to be in pretty good condition, but kind of dark from age, and I was just like, man, that's fucking. pulling apart. I'm like, and they had killed monkey brain heads come out before, and I'm like, damn, that would be cool, but just that heart over the monkey brain head, like something like that. Well, of course, Sean's got the jackets and
that's the shit right there.
Maybe spend a couple grand to get the lady that made them make the replica for you and me, Garrett. But.
Yeah, I knew a guy that
Garrett would pay it. I guarantee.
Yeah,
I mean, I knew a guy that
jacket. I would wear it out. I would fucking wear it out.
I need the the Alex Winter jacket. That's the one I need. I want that one.
That's what. Yeah, I would wear that motherfucker out, man. Playing gigs or whatever. Like this, man. I
agree.
Sean
awesome.
didn't say how much he paid, but I know it had to be freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, you can find it on. I think it's Prop Store. I think that's the one that sold those. If I'm not mistaken, because
they sell them separately, or were they as
they did. They had. I think he got to set those all together. And then a couple auctions, because I was bidding on a Marco by itself, right before we did the show last time, and it was in the UK. So after I translated the pounds, I was like, oh shit, it went for about 45,000.
Holy shit! For one jacket, that was for one.
And a cheaper Sutherland went up to 25, but I guess their reserve was 30. And it didn't hit it, so it didn't sell.
It's that Norman Reedus money, man.
Because that one had I think a mullet wig on it, and
yeah,
I think it was a stunt guy. I think it was one of the stunt guys because I think the Marco was a stunt guy too. Not
one item though. I mean, I'm not on the hunt for this stuff like you guys are, but I've never seen a screen use Jason mask up for auction. How rare is that sort of thing?
There's a book out. I don't know if it's available on Amazon about I can't remember the name of it, but it was a Jason collection some dude had. And I don't know if he was overseas or not, but he had, I think the earliest he got back to was 6 maybe, and then pieces from the ones before maybe. But I mean, he had tons of shit, and I think he was selling off some stuff, and they had a Goes to Hell mask, a Part 6 mask, Part 7 mask, Part 8 mask, the dagger. And I was like, that would be fun, cool to get the dagger because it's, that might go cheap, not being a mask or a machete. And I think that hit 20 to 40,000 just because, killed Jason. So, you want the knife that killed, dagger that killed Jason. So, I mean, yeah, it went
That's
for
insane, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff that Sean's got too, you just wonder, I mean, that freaking From Beyond thing that he's got, I can't even imagine what something like that would cost. That's one of the raddest things ever.
He lived, kind of close to it or, in the area that he found it like that. And it's like, okay, I still got to take it, a few miles to get it home, but that's still a big son of a bitch. And, and fragile, no telling how,
I mean, you saw he did a whole video of him trying to get that damn Hellraiser statue. That was, I'm not even a big collector of that stuff, but I mean, I was having heart attacks watching all that go down. I can only imagine the dude like him who spent the money on it and having to try to figure out how the hell I'm going to get this thing in the house in one piece,
Yep.
It's wild.
That's why you oh shit, there was I think the chair from Dream Warriors, the spike, metal chair, and Dream Warriors went for auction. I don't know if it sold because it's people, you got to think of the shipping and stuff on top of it. So if you're having the thing from California all the way come over to the East Coast, it's shit, you're going to be paying maybe as much for getting that thing hauled across the country. And
Robert Scott wants to know, how the hell do you guys get the money to buy this stuff? We already talked about, Sean Clark, Norman Reedus money.
I just had to take all the replica stuff and, flip it over to get the real shit, or stop collecting action figures and stuff like that. Here and there, I would get a chainsaw figure or something, whichever came out, But other than that, I'm like, oh God, there's a fucking Roy figure. Fuck, nah, get it. Damn it.
I had to get that one. I've got that one right there. So.
Oh shit, yeah. And it's like all those, and like, oh, there's the, Freddy in this outfit, or the Jason with this, obscure piece, and it's just like, no,
I would love to see them do, especially now that Carol Locatell's passed away, an Ethel and Junior 2-pack from Part
That would
5.
be so sick.
Yes, but they still got to make me a cook though from Part 2. No respect for the businessman. But speaking of him, I love this thing better than ovens.
Better than nubbins.
Better than
you got.
nubbins.
What you got? What's next? Woo! What does that say on there? Rolling
last.
Here, let's
solo
you here.
Oh yeah, I gotta go backwards here.
Rolling golf.
Last roundup rolling grill.
And you got your little. Sure took care of his hands. But Dennis Hopper cut them all up.
Yeah, gave him some hemorrhoids
juice, and then still got the little pencils and pens.
Wow, that's great, man.
See, I never noticed what the back of the shirt said.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Drayton is really cool.
Drayton Sawyer written right there. Yeah, I waited 7 years to get this, and the dude kept his word, which was fucking cool. And that's where I'd gotten Bubba's jacket that was cut from the chainsaw going through him, the tie, Dennis Hopper's hat, and that was like cool wardrobe pieces. I was like, God, how'd you find all of those in one? Like at one time, the dude had them in his closet, and I guess he got it from a guy from the set, and it was like, damn, lucky. But
how amazing is it that they kept that stuff? Really, I mean.
Not thinking, or just like, oh, it's cool, I'll keep it, whatever.
Right. And it looks like it's in great condition too.
I mean, still, yeah. I mean, the blood, on the Leatherface jacket, the blood was still kind of sticky from just the consistency of it. And I don't know what.
Yeah, this was a movie they had made in like 85, 86. So it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Another chainsaw related question from F Bass. Does Jason know if the original Texas Chainsaw 1 saw is still around? I've heard rumors that it is, but I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's one of them. I know the guy that said he had it, and just stories just.
I would think you'd have to be very careful with something like that.
I want to say it's gone, but just too many things going back and forth about it. It was just like, I wouldn't chance it. You'd be paying out the ass for it. And
how would you even know? Because like that was just like a commercial. Like you could buy that in a hardware store.
Yeah,
back in
they just borrowed it from a neighbor or something. I think is what they said. They borrowed it from somebody around where they were filming, and that was it, and then gave it back as far as I knew. There's one person said like, oh, I think it was found in a barn, of course, or in a box, and like it was taken apart and had to piece it back together or something. It's just too inconsistent.
Honestly, like if it wasn't for Bob Burns who made all those masks and he kept them, who knows if those masks would even be around now? They could have very well just tossed them.
Yeah, and I think all three of them did, including the grandma or whatever, the not the pretty woman, but the grandma one or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, he lacquered them with something, and it just started drawing up and turning brown like beef jerky. And you can see in the detail something. The pretty woman still had a little bit of greenish hue, around, and a little blue. You could kind of tell. So it's legit. But just to say, hey, this shriveled up thing here is.
What material did he make those masks out of? Do you know?
I can't remember.
I know it wasn't latex. I think I read about it one time, but I'm not remembering.
Yeah, there's something online because I do remember, but it was a long time ago when I was really deep into chainsaw stuff. Starting out.
Matt brought something up. It's interesting because I saw a post online of a pretty killer Return of the Living Dead prop that somebody had restored. Yeah, the torso zombie with the tits and everything.
Yep.
That is around. I can't recall the guy's name that has that, but he restored it and fixed it and everything.
That's the guy that has the mask, and he forgot that I was like, hey, can I get this one piece from you? There was Return of the Living Dead, and he was like, when I get ready, all right, I'll let you know. And then, just like the chainsaw, 7 years or something later, I see a post. Oh shit, there it is. Damn. I guess you forgot, but the split dog from Return of the Living Dead. I was like, that. I mean, that's just like the coolest piece. I mean, that lady zombie torso, awesome, but that split dog for some reason, and I think I was going to buy from him like for $2,500 or something. I think, and it went up for auction recently and went for $10,000.
Is Trash's cod piece, is that still around? I'm wondering.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Unless she had it.
Yeah, you wonder if she has anything like that of her own stuff.
Some of them did keep it, and then like I know, what's her name, Mahoney, was, I don't know if she won it or not, was trying to win her cheerleading outfit back from Heritage, I think, one year.
Oh, Kelly Maroney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Linnea sold all kinds of stuff over the years, so if she had it, she probably sold it by now.
Yeah, I think she would have, because she was having some issues too with, like, remember her house was like destroyed and she was trying to get money to fix it or something. So I'm sure she probably either things were ruined or destroyed, or she probably sold it off at that point. But
and when I was bidding on or getting my V collection up, actually I knew a guy, and he posted like, hey, I got this piece from Sybil Danning, an outfit of hers that was like leopard print or tiger stripe. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Sybil Danning, man.
So last time we had you on the show, though, you were going to auction the Nubbins replica, or well, it's not a replica, the prop from.
I need to get a replica now.
I was going to ask, are you having like sailor's remorse? You miss Nubbins?
I miss them because I got video of my son, like when he was born. I take a picture with him in his lap every year with a Santa hat and beard on him, and I got a little video of him sitting on his lap and just gibberish, and he'd go over, hug his legs, and go, bye bye Nubbins, whatever. And it's like shit like that, means a lot, but that's the memories, but it would have cost, I think, between seven to 10 to get them restored. And I was like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that much. And it was just time frame of it. You got to get him restored or he's just going to break down.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you planning on getting one of those replicas that they're coming out with there?
Well, I thought Trick or Treat would send me one like they did Savini, but I messaged them like, hey, y'all, I own them. Y'all want, pictures and stuff to go by or something, which this other piece we could get them to start making replicas of.
Right, for sure. Now, so you're saying, did they use your Nubbins to get replica?
No, they just, I guess, went by what Savini told them. I guess,
Mm-hmm.
I thought he'd be like, hey, call up Jason or whatever. And I sent the owner a message, but never heard nothing back. So
I'm curious. I think that you should try to get it, because I'm just curious for someone who had the original one to look at this and be like, all right, this is pretty close, or like this is garbage in comparison to what this really looks. Because with Trick or Treat Studios, it's hit or miss. Like,
right
in the pictures, things look great, and then all of a sudden, like, I can remember that was the first Myers mask I ever bought, was that original part 2 that they did, and in the picture, everybody was like, holy shit, like this looks just like that mold. And then all of a sudden it came. Remember, it was like everybody called it like the dog nose, because it was like the nose was just painted gray, like, and it was like that's the shading. Like the shading was basically just like blotches of gray all over it, and it was like, yeah, it looked great in the picture.
Like
but,
the chainsaw masks were kind of like, depending on how the hair is, the hair is not that great. But there's a video, the Grim Life that goes around and to the locations and stuff. There's one where they go to Savini's house in the shop, and he's got the trick or treat one hanging up, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the replica. You know, I sold the original to Jason guy, and you know, went through the airport, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." You know, but I mean, it looks okay, you know, but the jacket's not, you know, the colors are not right. But it's like, fuck it, you know. Go find a real Army jacket like that.
Is there anything else in Savini's collection that you've asked about purchasing that he won't sell?
He said he had Grandpa's hammer, but he had promised it to Greg. So, I think he had like one creep show piece that was the guy gets his head shot or face shot off or something, you know, in the Father's Day episode. And I think he just sold some 2 Evil Eye stuff to somebody. But yeah, it's not much left, I don't think.
Did he sell the Part 4 Jason prop thing? And
I think he sold both of those to some place in Hollywood or something, Star Wares or something. I don't know if they're still around. And I think that's how Kirk Hammond ended up with one of them. And then this guy in Germany, I think, has the other one.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, that thing looks sick. I mean, it still look good. So
he sold that. That's why you don't see Savini at conventions anymore.
And I think Kirk Hammond got Dead Nate, the mask and hands, like I guess the actor wore, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild to just think that he's got so much stuff like that where if he's in a pinch, he could easily just be like, well, I'll just sell this for boatloads of money, you know?
Yeah, it was like bring cash. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I can go get a briefcase.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, that was twice in a lifetime since because I went and got Nubbins first, and then my second trip was to get the Yuppie bust where the top of the head comes off and the blood squirts out. You know, it still has the tubes in them. And the Chop Top bus that had the metal plate, and Bill's actually got the other plate along with his outfit still.
But he's doing replicas of that plate too, right?
Yeah, I got one signed, so I'm like, I can keep that and sell the real one. You know, I was like,
sure, yeah.
That was a cool piece, man. Lick my plate. I mean, I got a plate, man. Shit.
Now, does his replicas look pretty good?
The new ones are. I got one off of MySpace days, and it's like a little thick, you know. But I think this one he actually does metal. So
that's cool. Yeah, for sure.
Matt is asking. I already know the answer to this because I've seen a couple photos. Have you ever considered setting up a booth at conventions and letting fans take some photos with the props?
Yep, I've done that. Thanks to Mad Monster Party starting out. They were like, hey, you know, bring Nubbins in for a photo op with the 30th anniversary, I think, and everybody dressed up and took like a photo, like the one sheet, you know, Breakfast Club pose. And then they just invited me back each year after that. And then as I was adding on, you know, it's like, hey, take a picture, you know, $5, whatever, you know, help get them restored. And then, you know, started making t-shirts, a hot sauce, and some buttons. So it was a cool little run, you know.
Has anyone ever outbid Kirk Hammett? I doubt it.
Probably not. I doubt it, man. Like,
yeah, I have
got Metallica money. There's Fuck You money, and then there's Metallica money.
Yeah, I have that book that he put out with his collection in it or whatever. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, the horror business book. Yeah. He had a thing down in Columbia, South Carolina that went to a couple years back and had some of his shit on display at the museum in downtown Columbia, and did a Q&A thing one evening, and then the next night his band with Robert Trujillo on bass, and then the singer from Ugly Kid Joe. They're called the Wedding Band, and they do like just cover songs, you know, metal cover songs and shit. So it was pretty cool, you know, hear him talk about all this stuff and get to see it. Like his Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff outfits were there, and all these humongous posters, man. It's like, Jesus.
I think he won the Is it the only London After Midnight poster that exists, like the full
Probably.
size poster?
Probably.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was over $1 million for that fucking thing. So yeah, nobody's going to outbid him, I don't think.
Mm-mm. All he's
If
got
he
to do is
want-
play a
if he
couple
wants
shows and paid off.
Right. That's a cool question over there. Francis asked if you know anything about the Exorcist 3, the shears. Have those ever been? That'd be sick.
I don't want to say that, but I know I've seen something from Exorcist. It's been so long.
Mhm.
3. It might have been something with the nun or like the head or something. Yeah.
That's wild.
What about Phantasm Sphere? Like that would be
Sean's got one of those.
shit.
Does he?
Yeah, I only know him and one other person with one, but I think there was some shitty ones from like the later movies.
I would take one of those.
Yeah, it's like just give him something. Yeah,
I think like Coscarelli keeps a lot of that stuff, so I'm surprised any of that got out. You know,
like Tom Holland's got a bunch of his Fright Night stuff back. He's got the bat, and then I think some stuff for the werewolf, transformation that part, and it's like, damn, dude.
I think the sphere that Coscarelli brings to him with conventions, I think it's from like Oblivion or something like that. He said, it's like, so that was an actual. If I'm not mistaken, I think that he told me that when I met him.
Okay.
So I figured like he may have kept all that shit. I know he's still got the car.
Oh wow.
He has the Cuda?
Yeah.
Shit, man, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like my favorite thing.
There's one guy in a post though that mentioned something about Sho Kosugi and
Oh shit.
Rain. That
Ninja Master.
That was my childhood hero too. But one of his swords from Pray for Death, which was my favorite one.
That's wild.
How sharp is that thing?
It's not. I mean,
Okay.
it's pointed, like you could go right through you, but yeah, the blade's not sharp at all. Is this the one
It's like a stunt one, right? Pretty much.
no, actually, this one's he did use it, but for like close-up fights, and then there's ones that are aluminum also that he used for like real hardcore, sword fighting. And
Dude, I went through probably a dozen ninja movies trying to find the one that I watched as a kid.
Oh.
Ninja 3: The Domination.
Domination.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I sold one of the floating swords.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like it wasn't the one that like when it glows, and there's one that glows, when she opens up and starts coming up, but there's one that floats around her. And then I had his outfit from that because it didn't have a mask. It was just the rest of the ninja outfit, and I sold that off. But I still got the Pray for Death that he used at the beginning when his kids are watching a ninja TV show, and he's got like regular mask on. Then later, it's the same outfit, or one of the outfits he wears later too, that he's got that metal helmet, but he's not letting that go.
Right.
But he sent me this out of like when my dad passed. I didn't, hear from any other celebrity that I'd, met at conventions or whatever, but he sent me this when my dad died and says, to dear Mr. Ralph Guy, we really missed you. Rest in peace, Ninja. And I was like, he didn't have to do that.
That's cool, man.
That's why he's the master.
That's very cool. Now, is he based? Where's he out of? Is he in California or no?
Yeah, he's got a business. Well, California and Japan. I guess back and forth. But yeah, he's got a business based in LA.
Oh, he must be doing well because he does not do any appearances or anything.
No,
right?
the last one I think was Cinema Wasteland, I think, or no, it might have been what's the one in Jersey?
Marsmania? Chiller?
Chiller. It might have been that. But yeah, it was one of those.
You don't see him at too many shows. Like I don't remember. I actually don't remember him at that show. But yeah.
Yeah, because I kept bugging the Evan from Mad Monster. I'm like, come on. He's like, yeah, I know that'd be awesome, but like his logistics and what he wants, to get there. It's like, yeah.
Right.
If he doesn't need, if he doesn't need to do it, then I mean, I'll do the same.
There'd have to be a high demand for him because it might be hit or miss. I mean, I'm sure there'd be plenty of people. You
could get Lucinda Dickey with him, and they could have a Ninja 3 reunion.
Something like that would bring him out. Yeah,
I'd be down for that. But I think she's pretty well
too.
off too. So I don't think she's doing anything either.
That'd be killer though. But I'm spying a little Cobra Kai action back there, Jason. What do you got? What do you got there, man?
All right, it came in a lot from Heritage, from the costume designer, but these pants, they're not Johnny's pants, but they're I still call them Lamar.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I got some Lamar pants.
Yeah, they all look pretty close to.
Yeah, and then this is one of William Zabka's backup teams.
Damn.
So that's from the original movie.
Yeah, but he, I met him for the second time a month ago in Atlanta, and he was like, "Yeah, that's not the one I wore. I've got that one at home." And I'm like, "So you didn't switch out or nothing?" With all that filming, which I'm like, I think he would remember more than the costume designer, because he's like, I kept these after filming, and I mean, it is one of his, but he's like, I got the one I wore, and like, you wore that one through the whole filming of the tournament scene, and so it's one of 4 made. So whether you wore it or not, it's like,
it's still very cool, and I guarantee you the value of that is freaking skyrocketed in the last 3 or 4 years.
That's what it cost me. Yeah. About the same as Nubbins.
Oh wow! So that's a newer item then for you?
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay, so
that took me a couple payments. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild because like he said, it's probably you probably paid a lot more for it than you would have paid 6 years ago.
And it was right during season 5, so
they knew what they were doing. The sailor did.
Yeah, because there was a Hobbit when the Hobbit was coming out, or there was Lord of the Rings bow from that elf, the long blonde hair elf. Like it went up for auction, and I think it hit like $375,000.
God damn.
Yeah,
man.
and I'm like, dude, you're not going to have any resale value. And then guess what? In the next auction, one of the arrows came up. I'm like, I hope you had some money left over for that.
Just curious to see like these big wigs that like I'm just curious. Do you like who a lot of these collectors are? Do you guys all know each other kind of now?
Kind of like me, Sean, and a few others. I mean, I still call them heavy hitters, but like the big guys are like museums or people start museums. I think there's one in LA or Hollywood that started doing that, and I think a guy that worked for Heritage when I was bidding on my chainsaw said that either Jackson or Del Toro also bid on it, but they were bidding on a bunch of shit. So if it got to say 10 grand, I forget about it. On to the next item. Or something. So.
I think even still though, I think props right now like are even going to continue to become more valuable because there's even a show on Netflix that just came out. Did you see that? I think it's called like Killer Collectibles, and it's about a company that basically tries to find collectibles, either cards or screen used props or sport jerseys that people wore, and they're going to these collectors' houses and paying like big money to put these on auction, and like they're showing you like what everything's selling for like on the show and stuff, and it's like a real show that they're doing, and every season is like
if you remember that Hollywood Treasures show that was on Sci-Fi.
This one's on Netflix now, so I feel like it's like
Go ahead.
It's all right, man. No, I just feel like with a show like that on Netflix, that people are getting more eyes on things like collectibles and stuff. That I think it's probably going to raise the value on a lot of that stuff that people are going to be really after. You know,
That's what social media did, and when like the saw from Chainsaw 2 that Sean got also, like I think I got up to 15 and had to bow out and ended up being close to 25, 30 something, somewhere in that ballpark. And I was like, damn. I was like, I got a steal on mine.
right?
Somebody was asking about Argento stuff, like the Crystal Bird in the Witch's Room from Suspiria. The Mad Puppet from Deep Red would be the one I would want.
I've never seen any Italian stuff come up. Unless I just missed it or something.
A lot of that stuff's probably gone, wouldn't you think? I mean,
being over if it never left there or something, I don't know, unless it's in his warehouse or house or something, or a family member.
I think Argento has a store that has a couple of things in it over in Rome or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as like Argento, Fulci stuff, I would imagine that would, a lot of that stuff's probably gone.
Yeah, I guess you'd be really lucky to find something that obscure. I mean, well, not to us, but
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody has done a replica of that Mad Puppet. Like that would be one for Trick or Treat Studios to do.
Yeah, there's so much stuff I need to get from them. I still need a Good Guy doll in the box. I need a Ghoulies. I mean, but
like screen used Good Guy doll. How much would that go for?
That's pretty hefty. I know this dude Garrett Zima.
Yep.
And he's actually helped out on the show, I think, like, and doing replicating the ones he had. I think the last one's hit maybe 40, 50 grand or something like that. But I guess it's depending on what movie and if you want a fucked up looking Chucky or the good guy looking Chucky. I don't like the stitches. I mean, even though I like the movies and everything, I want it to be like the actual toy doll, not
right, the first movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have how about anything else new? I know you'd talk to me about a couple different things.
Yeah. One thing I'd want to get if I could ever find it is I wonder if Jason Lively's got it. Is his Rusty the European Tour leather jacket?
That would be so sick.
That would be sick. All right.
Oh baby!
Get your bras out and put them on.
I don't even have my license yet, Lisa.
Yeah. My favorite movie of all. Weird Science. I mean, Chainsaw is my favorite horror movie, but Weird Science overall. The Lisa doll.
Dude, look at that. That's so wild, man.
Was there only one of those?
One, and they made it themselves, so it's not a Barbie or nothing like that. And it's got opening with the wires coming out, a shit ton of wires, and then the clamps to go in the neck, because it actually, you can in the movie it glows a little bit, so they did that, which I didn't even realize. And then it still has the 2 candles. So I just need to get a replica or a 1984-85 edition Life board game. And
oh man, you got to do that and just play it out that way.
But I don't know if we'll get in trouble for this. I haven't done it myself, but
look at there.
There. We hooked y'all up. We didn't have to do that.
Dude, that's so wild. That's like I was talking about that the other night on a stream, that Weird Science is my favorite Hughes movie. It's just so different, man. It's wild, and that's such a great prop to have, because again, I think that movie's pretty underappreciated.
Okay. Yeah, it's like there's so many people I meet out, and they're like, "Oh, you're into that stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, you seen this Weird Science? What? No. You seen Breakfast Club? Yeah, it's that or 16 Candles, one of the two, and sometimes not even that. And I'm just like, God, I'm old. And I knew I was old when I was like these kids today. But
Mm.
you know,
That Lisa doll is pretty sick, though. I mean, like you said,
yes,
there's only one, right? So that's even cooler.
Yep.
and it came directly from Joel Silver, so from his collection. And then it also had a binder of like 100+ slides of Kelly LeBrock, but it could be Kelly LeBrock with some of the other actors or just different shots of her. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
not one nude in it, but
What can you do?
you're right, you know. But it also had these. Which I guess they use them for the computer sequence when they were creating her. So you got like
Oh
the
yeah,
skull
yeah,
and
yeah.
crossbones, the bigger, handful right there. Access denied, intelligence level 5th grade dipshit, and then the little like corridors that get blocked
Yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah.
So I was
That's
like,
cool,
damn,
man.
yeah.
Nice way to display it too.
Somebody was asking though about the way you display stuff. So all of your stuff, and it looks like you've got movies and
Yeah, it's a work in
8x10s and
progress.
everything. So
Forgot to play
you're
it.
kind of like me. You got stuff pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's because basically one thing of trimming down too was going through a divorce, and then my dad dying at around the same time, and so having to help out my mom, so I had to bring all my shit here, which was like I had a whole attic like that was turned into a room, and like it was awesome, had my big man room and stuff, but yeah, shit went downhill, and then where am I going to put all this shit?
Right.
Man,
Because
what I do
posters
is
and autographs I can never get framed because I keep getting them.
right,
It's like,
totes and totes. And I'm like, one day I'll just have a big basement or an attic or something, and I can put all this
Yeah.
shit. But I'm running out of room in the freaking storage building behind the house. So
You like Savini back there, huh?
yeah,
Yep.
his house is like a cool episode of Hoarders. Kind of like,
Mhm.
I mean, he had so much cool shit.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Somebody's asking if you've seen anything from Sleepaway Camp pop up.
Mm-mm.
What
Nothing.
about the Slaughter High mask? I bet that's gone.
That would be tight. No, I haven't seen nothing from them.
I remember I asked, we did a commentary with Madman himself, Paul Ehlers. The only
Oh yeah,
thing,
yeah.
the only thing that he knows of that's still around is the axe.
Well,
He has it, the prop axe.
that's a killer piece. Like that'd be the piece to have, I guess.
But yeah, I know a lot of these lower budget movies, they're probably like they just throw this shit away, right? They don't even think about it.
Yeah, or back before like Warner Brothers and Sony and stuff like that, MGM, like before they were like, hey, wait a minute, this shit's selling. Hold on, we got to save it. Because there was a junkyard, I think, looked like a junkyard in the back of Warner Brothers lot, and you could see V shuttles all over the place, like, half down here, the other half sticking up, just all fucked up and just destroyed. It's like, damn it.
Harry
That's how
Warden
I think that's how the guy that got Christine actually did. He got the best he could find frame and stuff, and then just pieced together like a Frankenstein from the other Christines, wherever they had them, and then destroyed.
What was the story with the goblin head from Maxim Overdrive? The guy found it out in the field. Is that right?
Something I think up in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I mean, it was pretty fucked up, and he had to like replace good chunks of it.
And he's
Imagine that, just like finding that.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money from that.
Doing the convention shit with it.
Yeah. But anything from My Bloody Valentine that you've seen? I'm sure there's probably a couple things just maybe popped up.
I'm not sure if I've seen from an original, but I know there's been a few axes and or pickaxes and outfits and stuff from the remake.
Oh yeah. But people are asking too, like what out, like anything, we know Sean Clark has the From Beyond chamber or whatever. That's the big piece.
Yeah.
I don't know what else, if there's anything else you've seen from those two movies there hanging around, floating
The head
around.
is still around somewhere, right?
Yeah, actually, he just got that. Oh no, that's the Reanimator. think.
Yeah, he's got the reanimator head. Yeah.
But there was a bust I saw somewhere, and I guess it had been repurposed for something else after, but you could see where it had the spot for the little third eye,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
where it
yeah.
would come out and stuff. So it was a bust of Combs, but I think somebody took that and redid it for like another movie or something, and of course chopped off the little thing. And
Mm-hmm.
Jason, how many more items do you have? I know there's one big one, but we're going to save that till towards the end of the show. Just some stuff that you have ready.
I think that was once it like this is a new Sheriff Hooper from 3D, the black sheriff. It was in his office. Right?
Hmm.
Cool.
It's kind of neat, but I think that's about it.
You got Wyndham.
Barry Windham autograph.
Sick.
You're a wrestling fan, right? So
Yeah.
WWE has this show out called
Oh.
Most Wanted Treasure or something like that. Have you seen that?
Yes, those guys are getting ripped off.
I
Man,
think that's
the Brutus cheers, dude. That guy got gypped. Like,
I think
but
that's staged though. A lot of that shit is.
it's got to be, because that's the way that Hollywood Treasures was. You know, they're like, okay, we're gonna come in, we'll offer you this, whatever, and then, you know.
Have you ever tried getting anything wrestling related, like a prop or like a belt or something like that?
I think the only things I did was the knee pads when he passed away. Yeah, I think they were the ones from Rumble 90, I think, because it was orange with the yellow symbol stitched on. And, you know, of course, there was Hogan in there, the Genius, Andre, I mean, everybody. So I was like, man, that's fucking cool. It was used in that.
There's a lot of that stuff out there because he sold all that stuff on his site, didn't he?
Yeah, right before he died. Yeah. And I remember seeing a Diesel outfit on eBay before, and X-Pac, which I was like, oh shit, I got to get some Sean Waltman. But yeah, and I passed on those, like, because I'm like, do I really want that? I mean, it'd be cool to have, but one guy I keep in contact with, but it's like it took a couple months, and I'm like, hey, you still got these pieces? And he's like, yeah. And then something else come up, and hopefully he still got them, but he had a couple Sting bats, and actually one of the harnesses too from Repellent, which I was like, damn, that's pretty sick. But he had a WCW bat, a TNA bat, and then a WWE bat, and he said he's gonna keep the WCW. But I'm like,
for some reason, I think one of the coolest like ring worn items that I would want would be a Razor Ramon vest. Like, how cool!
Yeah,
hanging up. Like, I remember, because like even as a kid, I was like, damn, that's some sharp looking gear that he's got, man. Like,
for real.
Yeah. So I don't know if that stuff ever came up or not, but yeah, that'd be something I'd be interested in. To a point, I probably wouldn't pay for it, but
right.
Anything Goonies related before I forget about it.
I mean, I've seen coins and jewels, you know, some of the, you know, bounty, but nothing really major prop wise.
Yeah, no, that's
the booty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a lot of that hanging around, right?
Yeah.
I think. But somebody made a good point in here. They said, you know, given what's going on with things like props now, you'd be curious if the studios would demand like that they keep everything and then just try to sell it themselves.
Yeah, a lot of them have. Yeah, you know? Yeah, a lot of them have started doing that.
Because it is kind of wild that, like, you know, that these things are leaving there with people, you know, and who knows who, and you know, it's not always necessarily the actor that's taking their own stuff. Like, it could be like somebody just working on set that the day's over and they're like, well, I'll just take some of this home.
Yeah, I think Christian Slater had snuck out his Star Trek uniform from, I think Voyage Home or something like that. I think it was Voyage Home. And I was like, that's awesome. Just Paramount had that shit on lockdown, you know.
Well, we were talking about that wrestling collectible show, and I just saw a commercial saying the next episode is they locate the Macho King crown, and I'm like, man, that would be so freaking sick to have that.
Yeah.
Because that was such a unique item at the time. It just says Macho on the front. It's got the purple thing at the top.
You would think that there would be more than one. Though. There's got to be like multiples.
You would think so because he
wore in that warehouse all those damn coffins and shit. Like, I mean, tons of Undertaker coffins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost thinking like they're taking all this shit from the warehouse.
Well, actually, Savini made him and one of his pupils, Jason Baker. They made when I went up there, I got a picture with it. Tried on King of Kings helmet with the skeleton face, and then he made the one for Stephanie at WrestleMania, and they made the goat masks and stuff for the family. So I was like, damn, man, he's got his hands in WWE now, like making stuff.
That's huge for sure.
Yeah, Savini's a big wrestling guy too, right? I mean, he's always been a fan, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's super cool to be involved with that. And it's good for his school and all this other stuff too.
Yeah, especially having students on Face Off too. Like,
Pennywise clown costume from It. I'm sure that's around somewhere.
I know they did the one or two from the remake. They might have auctioned off one of Tim Curry's, maybe.
I didn't think about this one. Legion of Doom pads with spots.
That'd be sick.
I don't know if he had it was the Animal.
Animal made them, yeah.
Yeah. He had at a convention. I don't know if they're original or he just made up a new pair, but
that's sick. I mean, you go and I've been to conventions before, and Vader would have that big metal helmet on his desk, on his table, like that big elephant looking thing or whatever.
Somebody's got the Shockmaster one, man. It might actually be the dude, whoever played him.
What's funny is like that was like a stormtrooper mask that they just put.
Really, we can't tell what that is.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
That was WCW around that time period, though. The cape, the Narcissus cape.
I would love that, man. I love Luger. But Luger, do you remember he was on a show? He was on like Pawn Stars, and he sold like all of his gear and his robes to them and stuff. Do you remember that? There was an episode.
I didn't see that.
I missed that one. Yeah, I didn't see it either.
I would love that arrogant spray. That'd be so sick.
That would be cool. What about Giant Gonzalez's big bodysuit?
I remember seeing that online signed once. I remember seeing
there was an episode of Baywatch that this was after he was in WWF, that he was like playing like
I remember that.
A sideshow like circus character or whatever. And he was still wearing the Giant Gonzalez costume. So he's probably the one that has that. Or well, he's passed on now, but his family's probably the one that has that.
I wonder how much
there was a couple of those suits, because remember he had the one with all the fur and they got rid of that and changed it.
I wonder how much Virgil would charge for himself.
You can get some Virgil tots, the white and red stripe tots. $20
outside the convention center.
So you've got one pretty huge item. Do you want to we can give the people a little bit of a clue are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I hope they won't break it.
Don't break it.
Now it's time for the fun part.
I love to jam it to the floor, let me twice pipes roar. Well, I'm an inch off the ground, the speakers all around, baby. Baby,
that is
do
cool.
You like my sound? Let's go. I got a rather large amount in a Swiss bank account.
That is badass, dude.
That is wild.
This is the back with the compartment. I'll just open that up. There's a Makita drill inside. Got the stem from this.
Yeah, it had a legit drill in it, right?
Yeah, Makita drill. Yeah, just insert the drill bit on the end, and the stem goes in, lock it in like a regular drill bit, and then the electronics inside would make it spin.
Wow. Be careful with that thing, man.
Yeah,
That's insane.
I probably have to send it back and get it fixed, before I can get it.
Kirk Hammett wishes he had that.
I know, man. He's like wants that Les Paul Greeny, but I think they're making cheap replicas like $5,000. But he was charging like $50,000 for, I don't know how many they made, 10 or something like that, and was charging $50,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
People are digging the guitar, man. So was this another Heritage Auctions thing? Or?
No, this was actually through a personal collector, and it was right when I was selling nubbins, and get a message like, "Hey man, I saw you selling nubbins, man. Good luck. You might be interested in this." And I'm like, "What?" And sent me a picture, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And got that, and I mean, it's just, I'm surprised it showed up in one piece, because when the guy that had it before him got it, it came all the spikes, or a good bit of the spikes were broke off, and they had to have Tom Spina put them back in and repair that. So,
Now, how many of the guitars were there? Is there only one, or
there was two? One, or this one, the mechanical one, and then there was a pretty one for the photo shoot or stuff like that, and close-ups, just kind of like the chainsaw, and then a rubber one whenever it would get thrown around or something like that. But this was like the main one, going down the hallway and spinning, and all the action parts. So,
do you ever dance around the house with the guitar singing?
No, because I mean, that it's heavier than any other guitar I've had.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's got a drill inside of it. I don't know if people
and there's so
realize
many, and all the different spikes. It's like, am I going to like
catch it on something or whatever? Yeah,
hit it with my knee and pop one off or something.
What is
like
it
that.
made out of, by the way? The body of it. Is it like maybe a fiberglass or something?
No, I think it's molded, but I mean, you thump on it, it's kind of like, sounds like wood, but it's just molded, I think, because you can kind of see air pockets and stuff.
So, are you a musician as well? I mean, you play music and stuff for fun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a bass player, but I have acoustic and stuff. I jam on guitar and writing stuff, but mainly a bass player, and I like to get funky and do the fleet,
Slap it around, yeah.
slap pop, but gonna get wet, gonna get wet, gonna get wet.
That's Wet Movie's theme. I think he's in here. Yeah,
he was in the chat earlier. Yeah,
I need a copy of that track, man. It's fucking awesome.
I've got plenty of screen use props from Into the Pit. Wet Movie.
There you go.
Some are probably in that room right there.
Wet Movie gave me a good idea. I'm gonna contact Heritage Auctions.
But yeah, man, that guitar is so sick. I mean, there's, like you said, there's only a couple made. I mean, that's a pretty unique, one of a kind item in the sense that, I would definitely hang on to something like that. And
I mean, after trying to look stuff up on it, and I couldn't find, the initial eBay auction when the director lady auctioned it off, and then looking stuff up and seeing people do reviews and one of the top slasher weapons ever, stuff like that, and it's just like, damn, It's like the movie might suck, but I like a lot of shit.
And I mean, what's cool about that is once you kind of find a way, I mean, that could go on a wall and mounted and displayed for, you know,
That's what I'm probably have to do because it can't sit up like a normal guitar. Those
Right.
spikes are going to
Yeah,
break.
they make
I mean,
display cases and stuff where you could actually just have it mounted and everything like that, and that
Mhm.
way it'd be protected.
yeah, they got to find the right place. Like, I don't know where. Probably somewhere in Atlanta. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely. I mean, that would just be so rad to be on the wall because, like you said, it's at a point now where it's like it's so delicate. You put it in the wrong spot for too long, and all of a sudden you come out and 3 spikes are off. You know,
One of my cats knock it over or something. You know, fuck.
Yeah.
I'd be a
Mhm.
big wheeler cat peeler.
But yeah, that's cool, man. And especially because, you know, especially as horror fans, everybody knows it, but it's not something that, you know, I'm sure people outside the horror realm are really looking for or trying to get after, you know. But
Yeah, it's
people
like
inside
if
the
you've seen
realm-
that VHS cover, it's like I know what that is. I might not have seen it, but I
Right.
remember the picture. You know,
Iconic, I think. Honestly,
agree.
like of all the movies, that's the one that I like the most.
Yeah,
That's my
I mean, I
favorite.
like cheesy shit. I mean, I like a movie that's got, you know, plot and character development, all that. But I mean, I'll take a shitty one over that if it's just fun. You know, I really don't care about, you know, nitpicking at, you know, something, you know, like
Plus
that.
that guitar being so unique, it's not like he had a knife or he had a, you know, an axe. It was like this thing was custom made for this specific killer, this specific movie. So, you know, that's what makes it even more unique. Same with the chainsaw. Like, I mean, you can go to the store and buy any old chainsaw, but not one that's engraved that says the Sawers family and with the long piece on there and stuff. Like, I mean,
There's a
so-
friend of mine that makes replicas. Like, I mean, he's a hardcore Part 3 fan, and he actually got hit up by the director's son of the trailer and has the chrome one with the exhaust pipes.
I was going to ask about that if you knew anything about that because
And
that
he
trailer
got it running. It might be on YouTube, or you can look up chainsawgraphics.com or texaschainsaw3.com, something like that. I don't know if he changed that site or not, but a guy named Neil Olivier. And I was like, damn, man, you lucked out. After all this time, 3's your favorite, and you get like, and I was like, damn, I really like that, but then I like that, you know, this Excalibur too, and I'm like, damn, you know, but those exhaust pipes are pimp. Like,
It is pimp, yeah. Now, a good question TJ Frizzy asked, is there anything in your collection that you ever regretted spending all that money on?
Well, I mean, like I said, nothing's was a toss up. I mean, I say it's worth it, but just losing on that kind of left a you know, shitty feeling. But if I had to say out of all my stuff, maybe what I paid for, because I paid about the same for the Lisa doll or the Cobra Kai gi, and then knowing that he's got his main one at the house, I'm like, all right, yeah, it would have had to been sweated in for it to be worth what I paid, you know. Unless it was
Right.
just one that was on set ready to go. If he got one fucked up, you know, okay, here's this one, put on, you know. And
Mhm.
so that, yeah, I'd probably say the gi would probably be my least of what I paid.
Even
But
stuff that you've done in the past too, you'd still say the gi probably. Even stuff that you maybe bought and sold a long time ago.
well, actually, maybe some of my Chainsaw 3D stuff,
Mm.
because it was like the company, I guess some company had made a deal with them, one of their management companies or something connected to it. I think they did it with Saw too, also.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I have some of that shit. Like
Okay.
it's
You
smaller
can buy a
items,
little
but I
piece.
bought- yeah, like I have the Texas Chainsaw 3. It's like pieces of the house, the
Gotcha.
Sawyer
Yeah.
house or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think I have like a tile from Saw, and it was all through a company that sent them out. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's probably because of the deal they
It's
had with that company.
eBay, they initially, like, I mean, they just kept almost every damn thing, and you could ask them, and it's like, that's how I found some furniture at the time. Like I had Gunnar Hansen's hat, the coffee table that was in front of him, had some, you know, bones on it stuff, a bone chair, another bone, like little small lamp table,
Mhm.
some curtains, the burlap curtains.
Are you talking about the 3D one? For
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuff from there.
I actually think that's probably the best Texas Chainsaw movie since like Leatherface 3. I think. I'm not a fan of the. I'm not a fan of the remake or anything though. So
Oh, wow.
some people are.
Yeah, I know. I like those ones. I know you.
I mean, I like they went hardcore with those, you know, and then like the beginning, the girl doesn't live at the end. It's like, oh shit, that's cool. And he just walks home, you know.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I can nitpick those bad. I mean, Trey songs, I don't know, but stuff here and there, and that one kind of made me go, but then, you know,
It's cheesy. I mean, the what was it? The magic button on that girl's shirt. I was like, holy shit, bulls. Please.
I'm just like, where did all this family come from? Like,
Yeah.
hey, get Leroy down the street, get Bobby, come over. All right, you know, we can't let this girl get out of here. You know,
I think I just had fun with that one. I mean, it was goofy. Leatherface turns babyface in it towards the end. It's like, what the hell? But
Yeah. Do your thing, cuz.
yeah.
Yeah, I did kind of mark out a little bit at the beginning where they showed the cop car like going right into where the first one left off. Like, I
That
thought
was awesome. Like
cool, you know.
picking up, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool concept they did with that. But yeah, I think it's all right. I mean, I wasn't a real big fan of, you know, obviously they had that new Leatherface one that I didn't really care for.
They all kind of grow on me after time in a way, even like Next Generation. I'm like, yeah, Matthew McConaughey was awesome, you know. I actually had a script from the kid that was that gets hit in the head with the hammer, was talking about, you know, oh, if you don't let me fill you up, you get cancer, you know. It was his script, and like everybody signed it, and then on one page it was like, nice skipping rocks with you, keep on LIVIN, Matthew McConaughey, and he signed it with that keep on living, and I'm like, damn, like that was his saying even back then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Adams asked about Paul Partain's wheelchair like 3 times. So
I don't know. That's
probably
somebody does have the flashlight and actually had to plug it into a power source or something. I don't know why to make it, you know.
I did see somebody was selling and I was big into autographs way back in the day. I just can't afford them anymore. I think Gunner was selling these on his website. What's that?
Robert Jacks. It's not autograph, but he wrote his name and address out.
Cool.
The guy that played Leatherface on the
I got that same tape. I want to get mine graded. I wonder like how rare that tape is.
Yeah, I mean, I remember actually going on online when they had a website and was raising money, and I think I'd ordered some stuff and it never showed up. Like, damn, Kim Henkel, you know.
Huh.
But yeah, I do have a poster from that also. I'd gotten probably 10 years ago, and I don't know how much it's worth now, but it was in pretty good condition.
Mm-hmm.
Same like a Deadly Spawn poster I got from the director himself.
That's another hobby that's gotten really expensive because I'm big into posters, and
yeah.
It's hard, man, now to get anything under a couple $100 original.
I wish I still had my Jaws 2 big subway poster with the orange skyline and just the fin going through the water. Like, I couldn't even display the damn thing. I'm like, why did I buy this for, like, at the time $200, and now it's probably
yeah,
all the original one sheet stuff is just like the big one that I never did get was the Jaws one sheet, which back then it was like $400 or something, and now it's well over $1,000 wherever you go if it's in decent condition.
My uncle just recently sold his online. I think he actually only got $800 for it.
Oh, I wonder what. Well, damn, eBay's got so many like reprints and stuff and replicas. It's like I got to find my Great White poster. That's like my favorite of all. Kind of like Fright Night, which the beginning was awesome. But the Great White where the shark's just coming up underneath the girl on the raft, and you know, just all blue and Great White. You know, I don't know why the bootlegs do Last Shark now, but I always like the American Great White version that got pulled after 2 weeks.
Yeah. But man, is there anything else you got like prop wise you're waiting to get? Is there anything you got your eye on or?
Yeah, hopefully by the end of next week, I have a replica or the stunt. So I get, there's like, I guess like a nice looking one, and then the stunt one that was for the action scenes, of course. Gene Simmons heat-seeking big gun that shot those little rockets out from Runaway. So the little kids-related thing, and I was like, that's pretty cool. It's beat up, but it's
Speaking
what it
of
is.
Gene Simmons, though, Trick or Treat, I know it's one of your favorites.
Yes, I can't
Finally.
find my Sammy Kerr autograph again. After I took pictures of it for you, I placed it up on the
Yeah, I
shelf.
know that. I was going to mention that because you sent me a photo like of the Tony Fields, the actor he passed away like not long after that movie came out, right?
Yeah, I think he had AIDS, and I didn't know he was a solid gold dancer. I was like, fuck yeah.
So yeah, you got one of the only autograph I've ever seen.
I was just looking on eBay one day, and like Sammy Kerr, no, nothing. Let me try Tony Fields. Boom, there was a cut card, and like never saw another one again. Kind of like having at one time I had two mayor from Jaws. What's his name? The mayor from Jaws.
I don't know his real name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But I had two of those and never saw another one after that. And I think the last one I sold to his was like it went for like $500.
Mm.
So I was like, damn. But I wish I still had that one because I like cool characters, obscure characters like that. I got the doctor from Cannonball Run. Like I sterilized it. And
actually, you know what? Now that you bring that up, I actually have a friend who he's supposedly the biggest Jaws collector in the world. His name is Jim Beller. I don't know if you know the name at all.
Is he the one that? Not the guy that had all the props.
I don't know if he has what he has for props. He might have some, but like he has like, when Jaws came out, every little thing that they sold that had the Jaws logo on.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so he's got there's
one guy that just happened to, I don't know how he did it or how he tracked everything down, but I mean, you can find it online. Even on YouTube, like anything you could think of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this guy's got, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff, and he's even done conventions where he'll bring some pieces and show them off and stuff like that. So, but no, that's cool, man. I just didn't know if you happen to come across that guy. I don't know what he's doing as far as like selling things or collecting. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I know he had to do with him and another guy wrote that big Jaws book that came out a couple of years ago, like a coffee table book or whatever.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, that came with a little piece of Orca and then I think actually it's like 7 or 8 minute DVD of just some 8mm footage. Yeah, I'm still holding on to that.
Matt mentioned a prop that I might be able to afford. It's a tick from the movie.
Oh shit! Not smart like one of the big ones.
It is crazy because again, like, do you ever see anything that goes like for real cheap, or is everything that they're posting go for pretty big money? Like, cheap in the sense, like, are you seeing things going for like a couple hundred rather than a couple thousand, like on those kind of sites?
A couple hundred is pretty rare.
Yeah,
you're usually like 1 to 2,000 starting off most of the time.
What item did you pay the most for? Don't tell us how much, but just which one cost you the most.
Like, again, with the premium and the taxes and stuff. Probably the Lisa doll.
Wow. I mean, which is super rad, but it's the fact that you have these items that are big, right? And that Lisa doll's little. So the fact that she was so expensive, right? Like, but again, like you said, that's one of one. It's not even like
that scene in Anthony Michael Hall and Elin Mitchell Smith with the bras on their heads. It's like, I mean, that's what I'm trying to get. Once I get the board game and have like a glass case, and then the back of it have a picture of them, you know,
And
from the movie.
and to be
like,
honest,
kind of
finding a picture of that with even getting it or finding it signed is probably not impossible either, because they still do conventions all the time. Like I have a Weird Science poster right here that's got LeBrock, Hall, and E. Mitchell Smith all signed. But I did it personally. I had it.
Yeah.
I went and met them each individually and had them do it. So I'm sure there's probably a lot of stuff out there already pre-signed that would be even.
But I can put a poster I got. It was the upside down dinner table one.
Oh yeah.
The advanced poster, I guess. And when I was up at Savini's, he's like, "Hey, we're doing Steel City Con, you know, here. So, you know, get your hotel right across the street, and you know, I'll get you in tomorrow." I'm like, okay. And then I get there, and it's like, oh shit, Weird Science, they're here. Hall and Nash were there, and I was like, fuck yeah, man, damn. And got the poster, bought the poster, and then had them sign it. And I think Elon signed Gary's taking a shit, and then Anthony would put Never Tossed Off, and Kelly, when I got to her, I was like, I need you to write Party's Over. And she's like, yeah, Party's Over. And then we were and I met some V friends up there from Connecticut, and they were there for Martin from Space 1999, Bela Lugosi, Martin Landau.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm thinking Dave Landau or Martin Landau. Yeah. And so we met him and had him sign my Ed Wood. And we were at the hotel bar, and I saw Elon come in like, "Hey man, what's up?" It's like, "Hey, what's up? I remember y'all." I'm like, "Hey, you want a beer?" Sat down, had beer, and then we went to go out and smoke. And we ended up out there, you know, smoking. And then somebody comes out, and I'm like, "Oh shit, it's Keller Brock and Michael Anthony." And then she's like, "Can I borrow your lighter?" And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And she's like, "Don't call me mom." And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." Like, "Oh shit, I can't. Sorry, it's hospitality." And she's like, hands it back, and I'm like, "Oh shit, would you like to hit this?" And I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." I'm sorry again, you know. And so we sat there, passed it around, and then I was like, "Fuck, man, it feels like the damn candy bar fucking club right outside here." And I was like, fucking talking to Anthony Michael and her about my kid. I think it was like 3 at the time. And then Anthony starts talking about big pharma and flu shots at the time. And then I hear my friend arguing with Elon about episode 1 and episode 7, who's the biggest bitch, but Ray or fucking Amidala. I was like, I was like, man, and that's why I'm like, fucking Weird Science was my favorite movie. I got to experience a cool fucking time like that at a hotel bar. And then to buy that, it's like, yeah, that's my piece there, besides the saw. So
That's
Very
cool, man.
So I don't know if you're married or what, but like over the years, like wife, girlfriend, or whatever, what do they think of the collection and some of the money you're spending on some of this stuff?
Well, at the time, she didn't like it because my son was like, "Any nubbins?" And then it's like, "Is that Bubba?" And tap and cook. And it's like, "You teaching him that?" Like he's asking me like, you know, he's not scared of it at all, you know. And so I mean that was pretty cool, even though she hated that. But the worst thing was having to move the decimal point up. So it's like nubbins. Well, it was 2,500, not 25. So yeah, move that decimal point, you'll be all right, man. Just remember that. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm curious too. Yeah, about that. Just if everybody's cool with it, or they're like, "What are you doing?" You know? Because I mean, I got a lot of stuff back here, but nothing like that costly, like one piece or anything like that. So,
because I was scared, like, oh God, she might want to take half of it out of spite. But then if you find one that likes the same shit as you, it's like she might just want to take it. So it's a toss up. So I don't know. I think if they don't like it, they might just like, fuck it. You can keep that. Give me the car or the house or something. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, my wife could give a fuck less about any of this shit.
It's cool. Unless
Yeah,
there's boobies in it, it's like, oh god. I'm like, I can't
Right.
help it. It's part of the formula. I fast forward past it. Like
there's I always get nervous too, like and I can only imagine what you feel like, but like
I would
if
skip the
something
shit.
ever
Like,
happened,
so,
well, if something ever happened to me, unless I have like a game plan of what to do with this stuff, it's gonna
is she
get
gonna
just
come from
like,
behind or come from that?
oh
way?
man, she's not gonna know what to do with any of this stuff. It's probably gonna end up like I don't know in the garbage or something like that. Probably.
And your son will probably grow up and he won't
Well-
give a shit about any of that either.
Maybe
I'm,
not.
I'm-
I mean,
I'm hoping he does, but I mean, like you said, it's such a toss up. You don't know. You know.
he could grow out of it, or he could keep going with it, being interested in like, oh, what's that from now? You know, or
Mhm, mhm.
he's like, where are you taking the chainsaw? I'm like, I'm taking it to Bubba. He needs it. He's got to go work.
That's right.
But Jason, man, we appreciate you coming by, and we'll definitely have to do this again. You're always getting new stuff, so
Well, Dad, man, I just love the shit when y'all just talk shit and just. I'm like, yeah, typing there like this movie, and my phone, the autocorrect will fuck up, and I'm like, oh damn, like I'm gonna say and get that. You know, but it's cool, and like, damn the shit with other night with CHH that you were doing with the soundtracks and
Soundtrack.
shit. I'm like, when he started bringing up Shark Island and like obscure hair bands, I'm like, damn it, all right then.
Right. Well, you know what? I almost brought Weird Science soundtrack to the table. I had it in the other room, and I was
did
like,
anybody? I haven't watched that yet. Did anybody bring Savage Streets up?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, what was that song in the when they're walking down the street during the opening credits?
Yeah, that's
the Fortunate Ones or something like that.
yeah, it's something like that. But that's a great album. I mean, from front to back. I mean, it's got bangers on that.
It's
thing.
just good music, man. I can
Yeah.
listen to that shit all day.
It really is, and I don't know how rare the vinyl is at this point, but
Somebody sent me a sealed one
oh
2
wow,
weeks ago. Yeah, so I can't open it now. It's been sealed for like fucking 40 years.
I still got to get a Trick or Treat one, and I think didn't they re-release it for Record Day too? And I had no freaking idea about that one.
I think it's still, yeah. They did a Record Store Day version, but
I couldn't find any of them, man. I couldn't find jack shit. No Macho Man, no Eric Carr, or that.
I still got it right here. I forgot. Mine says mine's old.
That's
It
a
says,
promo copy.
yeah, that's what it says. Promotional use only on there. I don't know what that means.
That was for like a record store or radio stations and stuff. I think.
Yeah, I think that's what my Dee Dee Ramone or my Dee Dee King is. The Dee Dee Ramone's rap album, or it's just mainly almost a punk album with him rapping over it and stuff. And I mean, it's probably right up there with Macho Man's, but he signed it Dee Dee King, his rap name. And I'm like, I wonder how rare that is, because he started signing some second pressing, I think, signing it Dee Dee Ramone. But I was like, oh, mine's Dee Dee King, so it's promotional, but it's pretty funny.
Now, Wes, did you say that Savage record was going to come out in another version eventually, or
one of the record stores that I talked to in Louisville said that later on in the summer they're doing like a wider release. So the Record Store Day version is like probably an exclusive color or whatever, and then the regular one's going to come out.
Okay, because I'll definitely want to try to grab that for sure.
But the Trick or Treat, like I think when y'all were talking to Slippy and them, man, I like an Arrow box set, dude. I mean, with the steelbook in it, a hard box, you get picks like Fright Rags did, replica of the letter Ragman wrote, Sammy Kerr, a replica poster of the one hanging up. And
there's all kinds of gimmick stuff they could do. I don't know.
In the CD, or like I said, maybe vinyl, make it a big box like those Chainsaw German releases that came in the big boxes.
I would do it like a vinyl box set.
That's a big box like that, and then you get a shirt, replica posters, and backstage pass, something.
It will sell, and I think that Synapse doesn't usually do that kind of stuff. But I mean, I think with this release, that would be the something
one
that they should think outside the box.
Yeah, go outside the box on this one, man. It'd be worth it.
Yeah, because this is one that everybody's been wanting. So this thing is going to sell. To be honest, I think this might sell more than most of their stuff, besides maybe like a Suspiria or whatever. But
if they did it like Twilight Time did their original releases of Fright Night, dude, that shit like sold out
Mhm.
I mean,
I
in a
think this
couple
one
hours.
will do really well, and I think that they should try to see if they can somehow either, maybe team up with somebody to do some of the art, the boxes or whatever. But I think it's definitely one that I would love to see get a real cool treatment.
Yeah, at least a CD soundtrack with it,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the rights are, for the music. It might be
or
something
how much
that's
they want for
yeah.
it. Yeah.
But I mean, you could like if they could even do like a single, like one song from it or something
Or the
like
main
that.
song, yeah, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I'd be so killer.
But yeah, man, this has been fun for sure, and we will definitely have to get you back on. And you're usually in the chat too when we go live, so
So we
we're
do
always
shit
chit
like, hey,
chatting
that's
back
a
and forth.
drum
Oh,
fight
baby.
night too.
Fright Night 2,
We need it.
which
Yeah,
it's that
yeah.
one is. I think somebody in the UK is doing that.
Cine Museum's supposed to do it, but I haven't heard much about
This
it.
is
And the thing that sucks too is
the German
you got
one.
the German hard box, yeah, the
No
medieval.
false metal, Mark Price.
That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I mean, but yeah, the audio sucks, and it's just like a transfer from that DVD or a VHS or something. I mean, it is low quality, but I'm like, hey, fuck it, it's on a disc.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I mean, I'm happy with that. If you can get like, there was one movie. I don't know if y'all remember it. I think it was 1984, but it was shot on video called Junior.
I have that on. I have like a
Yeah.
bootleg of it. Yeah.
It's
I have
got
the
the VHS
VHS of
happened with the chainsaw cutting through the cover, kind of.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
I mean,
mhm.
Vinegar or one of those companies needs to put that out since they put all that other crap
I
out.
think a lot of those movies, though, man, like the source material, they don't know where it's at because I know for a fact Vinegar Syndrome they've searched high and low for elves. That's one
Okay,
that
yeah.
they cannot locate. And I'm sure there's other ones.
I'll take a VHS upgrade, man, as long as it's on a disc and I can put it on the shelf. Cool.
Mhm.
I
Oh, I would
mean,
love it. I would love to see Elves get a nice edition.
the 4K is cool, but I'm not going out of my way for it because I'm like, I still love snap, crackle, pop, and tracking. So
I hear ya.
I mean, I'll take whatever as long as it's on something that'll last me a lot longer.
Very cool. But yeah, man, like I said, it's always good speaking with you and everything. And we will definitely have to get you back on
Definitely.
soon. You're always
Oh,
welcome.
yeah. It's like, where were you guys during high school? Fuck.
what's gonna happen is you're gonna be like, you're gonna go start spending money and you're gonna be like, I got new stuff, let's do another show.
Found a Jason mask.
Yeah.
I found a dead pit damn hat, man. Come on. Man.
Uncle Bill's khaki pants from Into the Pit.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
But yeah, I mean, Garrett, you've got a ton of stuff coming up. What do you got on the
Yeah, I mean, we've banged out quite a bit this week. I've got tomorrow, I've got a show of a new series called The Rad Dudes, and we're gonna be talking about 90s like post Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle martial arts flicks, more or less like ones like Beverly Hill Ninja, you got Surf Ninjas, Sidekicks, Three Ninjas, a lot of that kind of Double Dragon, all those movies that kind of came out like that early 90s kind of tail end of like the Turtles craze. And we're going to kind of be discussing some of those type of movies there tomorrow. We just filmed a Rad Pack episode yesterday on Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So that's going to be coming out on the audio and on the Rad Pack podcast YouTube channel probably within the next week. We have another YouTube live Rad Pack episode next Saturday, the 20th. That'll be on the Rad Pack channel. And then I have things like I'm going to be doing like a Second Sight collection video. I'm going to be doing a movie review for a movie I checked out called Abruptio. So that's going to be coming.
Got all
as
kinds
well.
of Second Sight stuff, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing my Second Sight collection. Yeah, because I have quite a bit.
They kept using that burgundy and white for both Chainsaw and Martin. I'm like, they got that color coded or something,
They got they got those like at a discount price or something. So
oh, sorry, I just see Jack Frost wrote something in. So it's funny, Jack. I actually did a series called Are You Afraid the Doc Revisited, and I filmed it with my brother and his wife, and we did the first episode. So if you search that on my channel, it's there. And then we filmed another 4 more episodes, but every time we went to post it, it would get blocked in the US. And we tried everything to like edit it a different way, turn the sound down, and every time I uploaded it, it would just say this video is blocked in the US. So I had to scrap the whole series, and we had like 4 episodes filmed because I was like, I don't know why some of these aren't letting me.
What are you
Let
going
me
to do with
post
the
them.
episodes?
I don't know. I posted one on maybe Instagram. I might have did like a live or something. I must have just posted on Instagram as like a short, but it let me do it for quite a while. Like I think it did the whole episode, but I don't know what to do with them without getting flagged.
Patreon.
I don't have one, but I mean, you guys could use it if you
I
want.
could put it publicly on there for everybody to check out if you wanted to, because they won't flag anything.
I might, because I have a bunch of episodes done, and 2 are edited and 1 needs to be still edited a little bit. But I mean, yeah, it was a series that died, and it was something I was really looking forward to, where we go back and we basically watch the episode and we do almost a commentary on it and then talk about it afterwards and shit. So if you haven't checked out the original one I did, go check it out on my channel. It's on there, called Are You Afraid the Dark Revisited. It's just 1 episode.
So it wasn't like a claim. They actually it was blocked in certain countries, right?
That's what it was. There was a claim, and it's like, this will not affect your account, but then it says, but this video will be blocked in these countries, and it was like the US was one of them. So I was like, well, what's the point of even trying to put this out if nobody can watch it, you know? So and that was happening to 2 of the episodes I was trying to put on, episode 2 and episode 3. Same deal. We went back, tried to edit it to like try to throw it off the system or whatever, but it still always got tagged. But for whatever reason, it let me post the first one we did, no problem. So I don't know if it has to do with just the specific episodes, or maybe we had the volume too loud. I have no clue, man. But it's annoying. But I mean, I can try to get them, and maybe you can post them up on there.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want people to see them, I'll put them up there publicly, so you can just click on it and check it out. And that way you can, some people can check them, at least watch them. So as far as stuff that we're doing, I think Uncle Bill he might be going head to head with you tomorrow. I don't know what time he's starting his No News is Good News show. They're going to be ranting and raving about something. Rambo Raff and Stuntman Mark. I think they're starting at like 10 or something. I'm not certain on that. And then everybody knows that we are celebrating. So Saturday night, it's kind of like a Saturday Nightmares. We are doing a live commentary with patrons.
Ooh.
And if you guys want to join in too, you can. Bruno Mattei. It's one of the worst fucking zombie movies of all time. Night of the Zombies, aka Hell of the Living Dead. We were going back and forth with Carta. It was either this or Survival of the Dead, and I'm not sure which one's worse. But
yeah. Sorry, George.
Yeah, I got to be honest though.
Yeah. There's a copy I need to make and send y'all, and you might want to do a review of this a Jaws edit called the Sharksploitation edit. I don't know if you've seen that, but they edit.
I heard about that a long time ago.
They edit 1 and 2 together along with The Last Shark and Cool Dogs and stuff all in it, and like one part that gets me when they zoom in on Brody on the beach, and like he's staring off, and somebody's talking to him, and then they pan over and there's some chicks in bikinis and stuff.
Oh, it's like
they fuck it. They make it like a Grindhouse 70s look and feel, man.
If you can get me a copy of that,
I'll try to see if I can get it burnt, but I almost like it better than the original movie.
I gotta see that.
It's so good.
I remember hearing about that forever ago, like way back in the day, and I always wanted to like download the torrent, and for whatever reason, I never could get it. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, guys. But yeah, it's been fun. We appreciate everybody in the chat as well. Was a multi-stream tonight on both Dead Pit and Born to Be Rad channels. So subscribe to both channels. Check us both out. We've got all kinds of crap to watch on like almost a daily basis, I think, between both channels. So, but yeah, borntobерad.com and of course, Dead Pit.com. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
No,
YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
Hey folks, it's Oak Early Jaws. I might be banned off of YouTube, but that doesn't mean I can't get you some great shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. First, we got Steve Benningfield post goes against our community standards in nudity or sexual activity. We got the deadpit.com shirt. We got Cardboard. We got L Lord. We got Tales from the Dark Side. We got Dead Pit. And we got a Princess Puffin shirt, boss. It doesn't get any fucking better. Brandon had the accident. Oh. But these shirts just get better and better, boss. You gotta go over to shop.deadpit.com and pick you up some shirts right fucking now. What are you fucking waiting for? Do it. Do it now, because Old Curly Jaw said so.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.